A lack of information around addiction and mental health issues has led to a lot of confusion. Heroes in Recovery is here to set the record straight and break the stigma through the power of storytelling and by celebrating the heroic efforts of those who walk this road of recovery every day. Our movement is built on the personal journeys of survivors, shining a spotlight on the disease of addiction and creating a global community of support. Go to heroesinrecovery.com to share your story, read hundreds of others, or join us for a 6K race. Together, we can break the stigma.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
That Sober Guy podcast contains adult content, merciless truth, and emotional nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, man? How you doing?
You made this just for you?
No, it's our music. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Sober Guy Radio. Thanks to Humans for bringing us in. Thanks to you for supporting the show. We're live at Innovations in Recovery Conference in San Diego, California, brought to you by Foundations Recovery Network, the amazing sponsor of Sober Guy Radio. So much love and big thanks to them for bringing us out today, letting us connect with some awesome people in the recovery industry and the recovery community. We're having a damn good time. We're almost wrapping up, and we're going to head back to Northern California in the next couple of days, but we've got some great content in the last few days that we've been here, so be sure to go back and check out the whole IIR series. You can do that at thatsoberguy.com, and you can also find more resources there regarding recovery and all kinds of good stuff. We're going to get to our guest today in just a moment, but first I want to tell you about a new treatment program, DXRX. DXRX provides access to alcohol treatment specialists, safe medication, and ongoing monitoring for people who want to stop or reduce their drinking, and it's all done through a simple phone app. Here's what will happen the first time that you call. You can take a test and assess your alcohol drinking. You can see where you're at. It's a good place to start. Before you start the program, you'll meet with a physician who's a specialist in addiction. You'll discuss your goals for drinking, your health history, and any concerns. The physician will then create a personalized care plan just for you. You then monitor your progress with the breathalyzer and the DXRX mobile app. And the physician can also recommend safe, effective, non-habit forming medicine that'll help ease the alcohol cravings. Now, DXRX is a great team of doctors and professionals. They're from right near my hometown in the Bay Area. And actually, Dr. John Mendelson is here at the Innovations in Recovery Conference. I've hung out with him quite a few times since we've been here, been chatting, and he's a great dude, and they have a great team. Rolando over there doing a lot of the marketing. Just some great doctors and great people behind the platform, and really want to help bring substance abuse treatment to the next level and offer a new and innovative alternative to treatment. So if you'd like more information about DXRX, go to thatsoberguy.com and you'll see the DXRX logo, stronger than alcohol. Click on the logo and get started today. Today we're talking with Jaana Woodbury. Jaana Woodbury, my friend that I just met from the Chadwick House. They're connected to the Ohio House. So if you remember last year, we put out an episode. I can't remember what episode number it is, but it's with Brandon Stump from the Ohio House. And they just recently launched the Chadwick House, and we're going to talk to Jaana a little bit today. So Jaana, it's very nice to meet you. Very nice to have you on the show today.
Thanks
How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Yeah. How's things going at the old IIR conference for you?
It's a lot of schmoozing is what you call it.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but I mean, I've met a lot of good people that are like-minded, especially running a women's program. A lot of people that have that heart to really help a lot of women recover, so it's been really good.
Can I have you put the mic up just a little bit closer to you?
You want me to talk like this?
There you go. Yeah, you got to hit it like that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome.
You can get the female version of what's his name with the big baritone voice?
Patrick.
No, I'm talking about Barry White. Patrick's got a great baritone voice though too. He was on
yesterday or the day before.
I think the first day. Yeah. He came in at 10. He's got a great story, man. I didn't really talk to him.
He's crazy. He's a good crazy though.
Yeah, good crazy.
Good crazy.
I like that because he's very straight to the point. He reminds me of my homie Seth, who is extremely responsible for leading the path to my own recovery. So it's always cool when you meet people like that. Kind of feel like you know them already.
Yeah.
So what brought you? So tell us a little about yourself, and then what brought you into recovery.
Yeah, so my sobriety date is January 12th, 2012. I was a heroin addict. I wasn't one of those people that just woke up and said, you know what, today I'm going to get sober. I don't think a lot of us kind of have that thought. So my story is actually interesting. I was a part of a double intervention. I got married at the age of 20 and ran the streets with my husband. He's still my husband.
That's good.
And so we had a double intervention where we had a guy come in. We had a daughter at the time who was 2, and they were holding her saying, if you guys don't get help, we're calling Child Protective Services.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I got sober when my daughter was 2 also.
Really?
And that's, I mean, because they say, you got to do it for yourself, which you do, but obviously, I know for me, that definitely was a factor in, like, that helped to wake me up a little bit and say, man, like, I'm putting her down the same path in a sense that I grew up in, too.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened from there? A double intervention, does that mean an interventionist comes in and sits down with both of you, right?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. So obviously, we said yes, and they shipped us off to a wilderness program, which is not necessarily ideal. When I look back, it's all good.
A wilderness? I just picture you like with the big backpack. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to make fires with a steel and a quartz rock.
That is some cool shit, though, I gotta
bow
say.
drill.
Yeah. Bow drill?
Oh, yeah.
Is that that's the old school technique?
It's where you take a stick and you basically make a bow and a spindle, and you create friction, and it creates a coal.
And it takes like 6 hours to like make a fire and shreds your hands.
You got to be good. It's like 5 minutes tops.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I know that stuff's difficult. You got it down.
Yeah, no, it took a while. So we were there for 60 days. We're actually the only married couple that this center has actually taken. They took a risk because, as you know, it's very uncommon for couples to get sober together and then stay together.
It's extremely.
It doesn't happen.
Very rare.
Very rare.
I think you're the first person I've talked to that's
because I'm Jane.
Because you're Jane. Oh, I love it. Oh, this comedy. So what? Number one, where was this wilderness place?
Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, so it was out of California, and you were way out.
And I was sold because I heard Asheville is where all the hippies go. They got good music.
And you're Jane, so you fit right in. I love it. So how did that play out after? Wait, you do the intervention, and then you both go to treatment.
Yeah.
So what happens from there?
So my daughter, ended up staying with my mother-in-law, who was responsible for setting up the intervention. We were there for 60 days, and once we completed, we came out to California for aftercare.
Got it.
And I went to a facility where you can bring your child. It's called New Directions for Women, and it's actually only one of 3 places in the whole United States that a mother can get well with her child.
Really? Dang.
Yeah, so I went out there, and my daughter, again, who was 2 at the time, lived with me. We were there for 6 months.
And so do they help, I'm assuming they help facilitate all of the treatment work and helping you stay sober and work a program, all that stuff. Do they also help take care of your child while you're there?
Daycare during the day.
Daycare.
While you're in group. Mm-hmm.
And do they kind of assist you in helping to care for her and like learn
parenting classes.
Yeah, well, the whole 9 yards because you're really recreating your life in a sense, you know?
Oh, yeah.
What's up? How are you? Good.
Hi.
Yes. What's that? You know what? I'm going to be wrapped up at the end of the day today. So we're live right now, but take a card and we do them Skype interviews. I put a show out every week. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, take a couple stickers. All right. So we when they're giving you parenting classes, because that's what I was going to say. So when you get back, you're basically recreating this whole new life because you lived on, you lived the lifestyle of being high, and it's completely different. Thank you. Wow, it's like winking and stuff.
That's because you're the sober guy. Come
Interesting.
on.
Sorry, very nice lady just stopped by and was winking and being very nice. So, anyways, that threw me off a bit. Comedy. Jaana, help me out here, please.
Yeah, so parenting classes. So yeah, we did the parenting classes. This is where it actually gets interesting. You're gonna love this. So because they knew I was married, I was the first client that they did date night with.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I ended up getting pregnant at 90 Days Sober.
I do love it. Oh, that is funny.
And so I was, the treatment center, thank goodness it was for women and children and pregnant women.
And
so
pregnant
I could
women.
stay.
Now
Yeah.
you qualified.
I qualified.
Wait, we have a lot of similarities because my wife got pregnant 30 days to when I
And
came
it's
home.
like surprise.
It was a surprise, but you know what? Yeah, it was a surprise. But at the same time, I kind of see it like as a God thing because we had tried before for a long time, and my wife had miscarried, and I just think God was just saying, "You're not ready yet."
Yeah.
You as a family, you're not ready yet. And then I think as soon as I made that commitment to life change, boom, there. And I hear stories like that often.
Yeah.
So after you get through recovery, which sounds super interesting, I know there's probably much more to the story, but after you get through that and you get out, how do you guys start working in the recovery community?
That's a good question. So starting over in California, having lost everything to addiction, California is really expensive.
Yeah.
And so it was really hard finding an apartment for us to go to. So we ended up finding this little 1-bedroom, and my husband was working in treatment and I was in school, and we just couldn't make it off of, one income. So I started working in treatment on a graveyard shift as a house tech, which, you basically care for the clients, hand out meds and things of that sort. And so we rotated our schedules because we couldn't afford, childcare at the time.
Oh, that's so expensive. We're so lucky we have my my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Thank you. And my mom too. She helps out sometimes because childcare is like, who can afford that? It's like it's like another rent or a mortgage payment.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So we did that, and I, started taking classes online to be a drug and alcohol counselor. That was my calling, was to share my experience, strength, and hope with other women to help them find the path that I was on, to healing. And so I just gradually moved up, in that company, did a lot of crisis intervention, got my KDAC to do the counseling. Eventually did, marketing and all the other stuff, but I'm in the position now, which I'm sure we'll talk about at the Chadwick House. Because of my collective experience in the field.
So I want to back up a little bit. You were a heroin addict.
Yeah.
I should have got into this sooner, but let's address it real quick. You went from prescription medication, right, at first, and then that graduated into heroin. I don't know if graduated is the right term, but it's a very common theme. We're hearing about it a lot more in the media now because of the huge epidemic that's basically sweeping the country.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about that from the female perspective? And I know there's a lot of ladies out there that are still actively struggling in it, and hopefully maybe one of them's listening right now, and you can give them a little insight on how they can maybe get some help.
Yeah, so I actually got addicted to pain medication with my first daughter when I had a C-section. I dabbled in other stuff in high school. We went to a lot of festivals, and I'm sure you know what's there. And so, prescription medication. And then when I lost insurance, I instantly went to the street drug. It's cheaper. And addiction is a progressive deal. That's what you learn about. And so it just went from, snorting straight to IV use. So lost everything in 4 months because of that. Heroin is no joke. Once you get there, I know people that have stayed in addiction to heroin for a long time. Some people, you die and it gets worse. Or it gets worse. Those are the only ways, or you can get help.
Yeah, I have an aunt who is, I think she's been clean for 15 years now, but she says it herself, she was a straight heroin junkie for like 20 years. Yeah. And she explained how it was to a point with her where it wasn't even about getting high anymore. It was just about maintaining. And so that was the lifestyle, and it was very exhausting for her to have to try to find how to get high. And then she went to jail, and her husband OD'd when she was in jail. And so I guess point being, like yourself, you've recovered from it. We all have somebody we know who is able to recover from it. It is possible if you reach out and you ask for help, and there's no weakness in that. There's many resources, and that's what we're going to get into with the Chadwick House. You guys just started the Chadwick House. It's a women's recovery center. Talk about that.
So the Chadwick House, we opened March 1st, Women's History Month. For me, building something for women to go to was important in terms of, I know how women can be catty at times, and so there was a lot of love, and thought that went into creating this foundation. I vet the women too. My hope is that the person is willing. For me, I wasn't necessarily willing. Like I said, I didn't wake up and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go get help today. It was not like that at all. But I have that long conversation with all the women on the front end and let them know, hey, 5 years ago, I had a needle in my arm and I wanted to die. Like, I understand being in that chained addiction and not wanting to be anywhere. There's like nowhere you feel comfortable in life. It sucks. And so I try to connect with the women right away. The house, when you walk in, you instantly feel a sense of calm. We hand built a little Zen meditation table that we have our community meetings at.
Nice. How many beds?
6.
6 beds. And it's in Orange County, right?
Orange County, right on the Back Bay, which is really chill. It's a nice little getaway. California's busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, but you step out and you can kind of get into that quiet space.
Yeah. So what do you like? Take us through like what, like a general, briefly, not to get into the whole bunch of details, but briefly, from somebody who is like struggling and they want to reach out, like what is the process for them to do that? And like with, actually getting into the house, all that kind of stuff. What is that?
So, I mean, if you're reaching out and you're in active addiction, obviously I know from experience that you go through withdrawal. So I want to get you somewhere safe to where you can detox. And so we work with a lot of facilities, and so I would get you placed, and from there, I would come up with a plan ultimately. And the women are a part of the plan too. Some people want to go to treatment and some people don't. I understand not wanting to go to treatment, but having that conversation, on the front end, for the women to actually get in to come to me.
What is the connection to the Ohio House? And I bring that up, number one, because the Ohio House is awesome. Like I'd mentioned in previously, check out the episode with Brandon Stump if you'd like to learn more about Ohio House. But I bring that up too because you guys have some great support with the Ohio House and
Ohio House
in that
crushes.
community. So talk about that a little bit.
So the Ohio House, it organically started. Brandon, the owner, he came out to California like most of us do, to get sober and get well, and he had this house. And he had 2 extra beds, and people moved in who wanted, obviously the same thing, sobriety. Unfortunately, they didn't stay sober, but a lot of people, they were all from Ohio. That's why it's called the Ohio House. So
I do
they were like,
that.
so jokingly, they were like, I want to come to the Ohio House. How much does it cost? So again, it's something that grew organically. One house turned into 2, turned into 3, and people were staying sober. There's an emphasis on community and a brotherhood. Like Chadwick, there's an emphasis on sisterhood. And so now they have 12 properties, 96 beds.
So crazy.
And they just celebrated 220 years of collective sobriety.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, this is great, man.
I thought I'd open it up with a little Cheech. Was that Cheech or Chong?
Probably Cheech.
Was it?
Hey, this is great, man.
I don't know. One of them. Classic. Anyways, so talk a little bit more about Chadwick House. I think we were talking about getting into and whatever.
We were talking about Ohio House, bro.
Or Ohio House. That's right. See, what happened was, I'm going to be fully transparent here. I had to pause the recording for a moment because there was a raffle going on in the background in case you didn't hear it, which you probably did. And now we're picking up right from where we left off that I totally forgot. So Ohio House, take it away.
Yeah. So Ohio House, I think I was saying they collectively celebrated 220 years of sobriety.
Yes.
So they've been open for 5 years. Brandon approached me, I approached him actually 3 years ago and wanted to do something for women. It didn't feel like the right time. I've grown a lot personally just in my recovery and professionally, in the field. And so he approached me about 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, and it was finally time to open the Chadwick House.
Felt like it was right.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
It's like a divine feeling, you know? And the Chadwick House, so we wanted to keep it connected to Ohio House, but we didn't want it to be Ohio House for women because Ohio House is just like manly, And so we actually named the Chadwick House after Cassie Chadwick. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio. She's deceased. She's from back in the day, but she's the biggest, baddest con artist.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No way. So what made you guys name it after her?
Her story is incredible. Unfortunately, she died in the penitentiary, but the point is what we wanted, the Chadwick House, we don't want a bunch of con artists, obviously. But I know we have all, I'm sure, had our fair share of...
The chameleon.
Yeah, some doing things. You know, so we really put a lot of thought into creating the name, the branding, like down to the color. You know, again, when we wanted something that when people look at it, they're like, I want to go there. I want to be there.
How many women's facilities are in Orange County or in the area? Is there not many?
No, there's not a lot of places and which is crazy.
Yeah.
When I think about it, but when I really think about it, women are usually the last to get help because they're too busy taking care of everybody else.
So true.
It is true.
That is so true, especially if you have kids and spouses and. I know my wife puts herself last all the time, and I tell her something like go do something, and she does. Don't get me wrong, it's not like she doesn't take care of herself by any means, but she just I think it's just in women's nature to be nurturing
and take care of others. Absolutely. Yep. So we're the last ones to get help. So there aren't a lot of good places for women to go, which is really unfortunate. But again, that's why I felt called, as a woman in sobriety, as a mom. I have 3, young daughters, 7, 4, and 4 months.
You have a 4-month-old?
Oh, yeah.
Dang, you are badass. Just straight rocking it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love family, but I get to have that because I'm sober. But I've been that mom that was in addiction to where I put my daughter not in good situations, you know.
So I'm going to actually ask a personal favor from you right now.
Yeah.
So I have a friend, basically a little sister, known her brother's one of my best friends. She reached out to me a couple months back, and I live in Solano County. There's just what we were talking about, not a lot of resources there.
Yeah.
Especially for women. There's a few, at least that I know about. There's a few ones, county programs, stuff like that. But the waiting list is down. It takes forever to get in. She's going through a situation where, she doesn't have her daughter at the time. She doesn't have it right now, and she obviously wants to get her back. She loves her. She's trying to get clean. She reached out. She got into a program. What advice can you give her, or somebody like her who's in her situation? Because I'm sure there's other people out there listening too, that can help her kind of get through. Like, is it take care of yourself first and then worry about your child? Is it how do you kind of address that?
Well, I mean, as they say, you can't transmit something that you don't have, right? And so giving yourself permission to take the space. I know for me, I felt very shameful and guilty for not even being with my daughter for the 60 days that I was away from her.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very upset and was crying constantly, because I felt, as a woman, I felt like I needed to be that mom. I needed to be present.
Yeah.
It's like the natural feeling that a woman has when she has a child.
Yeah.
But it's the best thing that I could have ever done, because what she has today is a life with she sees only a sober mother.
Yeah.
It's a sober household. I'm present for her. But yeah, just to give yourself permission to step away and heal.
Yeah, and not feel guilty about it, and know that short term. What initially is a short-term process, the first 60, 90 days, whatever, even if it's 6 months, that is going to lead to a lifelong better life, right?
Yeah.
For not only yourself, but obviously for your children too, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and a lot of us, when we're first getting sober or trying to get sober, have an idea of what it should look like or how it should be, and usually those ideas are what screw us over in the end.
Yeah.
We don't know, so take guidance from people that have walked before you and sit down and listen, you know?
Yeah, that's a hard thing for us to do. We all like to talk.
Yeah.
That's why I do a radio show, I guess. I think, so being in the recovery community, a lot of people think being sober is whack. Like you can't have any fun, you can't do anything. So not true, so the opposite. There's another stigma that goes along with recovery. Talk about being in the recovery community and how fucking cool it actually is.
Yeah, no, it is cool. So I'm 29, I'm going to throw out my age.
Yes, nice.
And I went back home. I'm from St. Louis originally, from the Midwest, where they have a lot of heroin.
Yeah.
Not good. I mean, it's everywhere now, but... so when I went back, it was weird. There was a sense of, I was almost sad because a lot of the people that are still there, like in addiction, are doing the same things. And I know they're not fulfilled doing that. Like when I got sober, my world became bigger.
Yeah.
I it's weird because nowadays, like, I don't have any chaos, you know, like I wake up, I go to work, but like I'm present in every moment, and for the most part.
Yeah.
And I'm not like perfect.
No.
Yeah, come on.
Well, that's what I was going to say though too. It's not, I just want to be clear, like in recovery, it's not all like everything, like we still have shit in life that life throws at us that we have to
100%.
deal. But the difference is we get to actually deal with it instead of turn it to a needle or a bottle or whatever the choice is. We actually feel that emotion and we actually get to deal with it. And then we have a community around us that can help us, and we can bounce shit off of and talk to other people about. I mean, that's what I love about recovery.
Yeah, and my pain, you know, that I felt and my struggles in sobriety have allowed me to connect to way more people.
Yeah.
Because I have an understanding maybe of what that person is going through for that day at that point in time, and can be that pillar of hope, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a good deal.
Yeah, for sure. What are you looking forward to the future for you, for the Chadwick House? I mean, I know we're supposed to be living one day at a time, the old cliche, I get it. But we all got to have visions and goals at the same time too. Like, what do you see?
Chadwick House is going to be the best and the biggest community of women. Even with women, there's that, it's like an unknown, unspoken vibe that everyone's just like, oh, she has a lot of guy friends, and you know, it's like, no, women stick together. Women, for me, you know, are the future. You know, we are the mother of children. We are the backbones in families and the voice of reason in men's heads, you know, like that's
That is for damn sure, because I've been ready to do some dumb shit and my wife's voice will pop in and
tells
go,
you what's
Shane?
up. Right.
Shane? Like, yeah, I better not do that.
Right. So it's going to be the biggest and best sober community for women. It's a sisterhood. We're all about, you know, good vibes, healing, taking care of each other, looking out for one another. We're out opening a second, third house here pretty soon. Again, we've opened up Women's History Month. Like, how appropriate.
Yeah.
I want to say I did that on purpose. I didn't.
It's pretty cool, though, how it lined up like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the goal. That's what's going to happen.
When is Chadwick House, Ohio House, going to come up to Northern California? Because we need some help up there. It's, San Francisco, Sacramento, I know there's resources there, but I'm talking about in some of the smaller communities, like Solano County, for instance, is Vallejo, Fairfield, which is a spot that is in dire need of some help. It's really bad out there. Up to through Vacaville, Dixon. There's, I don't know. It's I know there's a lot of there's a lot of people struggling. There's not a lot of resources. Hopefully that changes soon.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, this is interesting too. So my husband, he's the director of admissions at the Ohio House, and I'm, do admissions for Chadwick House, but I probably place more people outside of the Chadwick House for treatment than I do into our own spot.
Really?
Because if I get that call, I know that person might not have another day. They might not even have another few hours, and I'll do anything that I can, to provide free resources if they're homeless or about to be homeless. If they have the means to get into treatment, like I will walk them through that process completely all the way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this thing up. It's been really cool talking with you.
Thanks for having me.
If one last question for you, if anyone out there's listening right now and they want help, they want to reach out, what can you tell them? Call me. You want me to give my number right now? If you'd like to, give the website, phone number, whatever you'd like. So it's Chadwick, CHADWICK-house.com. And then my number is 949-734-9356. If I don't answer, leave a message, I'll get back to you, but reach out. I mean, I know for me, I didn't reach out. I was fortunate enough to have an intervention, but if I did not have that, I have no idea where I would be right now, Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Jaana Woodbury. Love it. So great to meet you. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Thank you. We're coming live from Innovations in Recovery, San Diego. It's great to be here. For more information, go to thatsoberguy.com. Peace, love, respect. Keep your blood clean.